Good morning, a very warm welcome to ABTV. We are at Pittodrie for today's final game of the season against St Mirren. Thank you so much for joining me this morning on this man's day. Andrew Considine will start today's game and he will also captain the side. 571 appearances, 41 goals, 3 Scotland caps, and a 2014 League Cup winner. We will be celebrating all things Andrew on today's show. It's Aberdeen against St Mirren. It's at Pittodrie Stadium. Kickoff is in exactly 1 hour's time. Just to put the game into context, there we are, currently in 10th position. As many people have suggested today, the result is irrelevant. It's all about Andrew Considine, but I'm still hoping that we can get a decent result today. Let's see what happens a little bit later. Good morning, how are you doing? Thank you so much for coming along and watching the preview show. Not long now until kick-off. I'll bring you all the team news very shortly. Coming up a little bit later, the Press and Journal and Evening Express designer Morven Park, he came up with some really nice Aberdeen Football Club based concept shirts. I'll be showing them to you and we'll be talking to Morven later to get the idea behind these designs. Also, we'll be hearing from you guys as you give us your thoughts ahead of today's game against St Mirren. We'll interact online and see what's going on there as well. So many thanks for coming in and watching. Right, shall we get straight on and have a look at the team news and just confirm the team that Jim Goodwin has picked today. He's actually made 4 changes to the side that lost in Perth. So let's go through it. Andrew Considine in for Declan Gallagher. Our wishes came true. Ross McCrory is in for Funzo Ojo. Johnny Hayes comes in for Adam Montgomery. And Marley Watkins comes in for Michael Ruth. So just to confirm, the manager has made 4 changes to today's team. Let's have a look at the head-to-head between the two sides this season. St Mirren beating us 3-2 back in September. We then had a very decent result against them at Pittodrie back in December. And at the turn of the year, St Mirren once again beating us by 1-0. Let's just take you through some match stats ahead of the game. So this is the first time that obviously Jim Goodwin will face his former club since becoming manager of Aberdeen back in February. St Mirren's last recorded victory at Pittodrie came back in 2011. And believe it or not, Jim Goodwin was part of the Buddy side that day. Since the turn of the year, the Dons have only recorded 2 league victories, both of which have come at Pittodrie. So as we all know, the season has not exactly been the best. And I think it's fair to say that most of us are absolutely delighted that it's coming to an end today. And then let's see what happens with the rebuild during the summer. So come on, let's have a little look to see what the manager has had to say ahead of today's game. At his pre-match press conference yesterday. I want our supporters to be extremely optimistic about the future. We have identified some really good targets to come in the summer. There will be big changes. We are in a transition period. It's as simple as that. He knows what he has got to do. If you want to get interactive, drop me a note. Let me know how you're doing today. Let me know if you're going to the game. They're talking about a near enough sellout for today's game, which is absolutely fantastic. Considering the performance the boys put in on Wednesday night, I think it's safe to say that most are going today to give Andy his big send-off. I absolutely applaud all of you who are going along to today's game. Okay, as promised, let's have a chat now with Morven Park, who is a designer for the Press and Journal and Evening Express. And if you missed it, he came up with some concept shirts for the football club, which actually took place in the newspapers. Now, have a look at this one. This is his Gothenburg-based shirt idea, which I personally love. This is my personal favourite. I really think it is superb. He's designed some more. Let me take you through them for you. There you are. There's a couple more. I like the one on the right, I have to say. Quite like it with the collar. I think that's quite a smart one. And to finish off, there's some other designs. Again, I quite like the one on the right with the sort of the football pattern going on at the bottom of the shirt. But overall, I have to say the Gothenburg shirt was my favourite. So today, before Morven set off for Pittodrie, I caught up with him and we spoke about these shirts. Morven, thank you so much for joining me this morning. It's an absolute pleasure to meet you, and many, many congratulations on the designs. They're all absolutely fantastic. What was the idea behind your designs? What sort of inspired you to do this?
So Sports Desk got in touch with me about a Aberdeen fan had done up a 1990 inspired kit using one of the current Adidas templates. So they asked me, do you fancy having a go doing a Gothenburg one, seeing as Gothenburg Day is coming up? So okay, I'll have a crack at that. So went and did that, and then thought, well, do you fancy doing some more? So give that a go. So they said, have a look back at previous kits and try and pick out some iconic ones to kind of have a play about with and do a modern twist on them. So once I'd done the Gothenburg one, we looked at like the 1995 Coca-Cola Cup one. And then the other one I looked at was one that I personally really liked, was the 2006-2007 season one, when we finished third for the first time in far too long. And then after that, it was just kind of just have a play around really and just come up with my own designs. So trying to do ones that haven't really been done before, or taking elements of classic kits and putting them onto more modern looking ones. So yeah, just a bit of a fun project to work on really.
Roughly, how long would it take you to finish a design from start to end?
It varies. So like the Gothenburg one, it's pretty straightforward because I didn't tamper with it too much. All I did really was break up the kind of the lines in between on the pinstripes. It varied. Some were really quick to do. Some I tinkered about with for quite a while. I didn't have that much time to work on them, so it was just kind of, some of them were literally just kind of thrown together last minute, if I'm honest with you. But the majority of them kind of, I'd say anywhere between half an hour to an hour per top.
On each shirt, do you have to find some sort of inspiration? Do you look at the old kits? Do you look back on iconic moments from Aberdeen's history? Where does the inspiration come from?
Well, yeah, so a lot of inspiration does come from previous kits. For example, one of the ones I really like was our collar concept 2, which is the white collar with the 3 stripes on it. Mm-hmm. Quite a lot of the kind of 70s, 80s ones had that kind of look to them. So I took inspiration from that. And then others were just kind of looking at, so for example, there's one, I think it's collar concept 1, it's red, but then instead of having like the usual kind of white Adidas stripes, I did like a darker red. It's similar to one that Bayern Munich had a few seasons ago. Again, trying to come up with designs that haven't really been done before.
It's personally, the one that I like the best is the Gothenburg one that you design. I think
that's not a surprise, is it?
Yeah, the pinstripe shirt has always been my favourite shirt from down the years, but the one that you've designed, and with the new sponsors on the front of the shirt as well, I just think it looks really, really cool. How have your designs been? What's been the response from, say, the readers to the Evening Express and the Press and Journal?
Well, going by the results of the survey on the website, the Gothenburg ones had about 80 to 85% lion's share of the vote.
Really?
So it's not a surprise. We all, even those of us who weren't even around for Gothenburg, like myself, I was born in '85, so I just missed out on being around for it. But yeah, it's just, you just associate with the best moment in the club's history. So it's always going to be the winner, isn't it?
Yeah, really. Absolutely. Yeah, mate, listen, absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for coming on today. And again, many congratulations. That all of them are brilliant, but the Gothenburg one, that's really pulling at the old heartstrings. So thank you, mate. It's lovely to see you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah.
Bye, mate. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Many thanks to Morven. I'm sure you'll agree they are superb. Okay, if you are just joining us, thank you so much for tuning in. Just to confirm today's team news, Andrew Considine does start. My thanks to Scott Baxter for the courtesy of using these pictures. You can catch him on scottcameronbaxter.com, where he's got some magnificent images, and online as well. So many of you have been in touch. You've been tweeting about Andrew. Let's just take you through some of the tweets. So many of you had so much to say. Michael Scott, his pride in playing for his club and his country. He lived a dream that we couldn't. First Don's match, good morning guys. Wishing Andy a great day today. Thanks for everything that you've done for Aberdeen Football Club. Chidi, good morning. How are you? The football on show is completely irrelevant today. Even if we go down 6-0, it shouldn't affect the atmosphere, as today is all about showing our appreciation for one man modern hero. God bless Andy Considine. Keep all your tweets coming in. It's really good to see so many of them coming online. Right, let's get the thoughts now of you, the fans. Erin Grieve, I'm sure you know her very well on social media. She's a huge Aberdeen fan. She follows the team up and down the country. Before she left for Pittodrie, I caught up with her earlier this morning to chat all things Dons. Hi Erin, it's lovely to see you. Again, thank you for joining me this morning before you head off to the game. So give us your thoughts overall on this season.
It's so bad. Yeah, it has been pretty terrible. Normally you get, the odd bad game, or a run of a few bad games, or you have a couple of games in a row that aren't great. Pretty much every game has been poor. I think the Rangers, the 2 all Ibrox, is probably, sadly, the highlight. That week actually, where we beat Hibs, drew the Rangers, beat Hearts. Other than that, terrible. Cup, terrible. Everything, not great. Europe actually was all right, and then it's just gone downhill from there, hasn't it?
I know that you travel a lot to the away games, and you went again on Wednesday to Perth. I was so frustrated for you guys because I think you deserve better. How frustrating was it watching that game?
It's a weird one. It didn't really matter. Like, we're not going to be in the playoffs. Didn't matter anymore. It was a weird game because the result was irrelevant, really, but it was honestly horrendous. It was terrible. That was probably the worst game of the season. It was awful to watch. Not helped by St Johnston's. The play was, I think if you were neutral, you would say that was an awful game, but it was just horrific. And if the game doesn't count, why are we not just playing all these players for, give them a bit of a shot, see what they're like? I don't need to see Conor McLennan again. It's bizarre, I think, to not have just played as many of them as we could have done. It didn't matter if we got beat. The prize money can't be that different between 10th, 9th and 8th. I don't think it really mattered. And I think it's a bit of a shame because actually it was not a bad turnout on Wednesday, more than I expected. I think because tickets went on sale before we were technically safe. And perhaps not that far. But yeah, not a good one. No, I think everyone was just fed up.
So today, what are you hoping? What are you wishing for? What's your expectations?
I tweeted and said this week, Andy to start, Andy to captain. He's taken all the penalties. He's going to get a header. He's going to get a big lap of honour. Everyone's going to sing for him all game. Goes out at the end with his kids around the pitch. Everyone's crying. Lovely day.
Yeah,
brilliant. He can apparently only play half an hour. So I'm guessing he's not going to start because it surely makes more sense for him to be on at the end. I'm assuming when he comes on, he's getting the captain's armband, surely. And hoping there's maybe a plan for them to take him around the pitch and stuff at the end. I actually thought that despite him having his kind of special day, it would be quite quiet today because it's a meaningless game at 12 o'clock on a Sunday against St Mirren. But actually, apparently, it's going to be rammed.
Yeah, which is fantastic. And absolutely kudos to all the fans that are going today. But I genuinely believe they're going for Andrew.
Oh, I would have gone anyway. Maybe I booked my trains when the split fixtures came out, so I probably would have gone anyway. But people were talking about, do you think we'll beat St Mirren? I don't really care at this point. It doesn't matter. Not really. Do I think we'll beat? Probably not, because we're not particularly good. It's very much a just get this finished and move on from the season because it has not been good. And to be honest, if we went and won today, well, why couldn't we have done that weeks ago? I don't understand why. Occasionally we'll get a result. Although actually, to be honest, since the St Mirren 4-1 before Christmas, we've actually not really had a win, not properly. A 1-0 against Dundee with a penalty. The Hibs won, but Hibs do that. They have absolutely bizarre results. I don't understand how it's going on that we can beat Hibs, but we can't beat anyone else. So, yeah, it's not been... I'm not confident we'll win today, but I don't think it's the end of the world if we don't. I think the big thing is that we have a nice day for Andy because 18 years ago today, his debut.
I know, unbelievable. Hey, listen, thank you so much for coming on. It's so nice to see you, and I appreciate you taking the time because I know you're getting off to the game. So enjoy the game, and we'll catch up again soon.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yes, thank you. Hopefully Andy will get a little, well, maybe something will happen in the summer and we'll still be talking about him next season.
Yeah, you never know. Take care. So Evan and I spoke earlier before the team news was finalised today. Andrew Considine, captain of the side today. So happy about that. Just like to show you something very quickly. If you can see that. Let me just turn it around there. So Andrew very kindly gave me that a few years ago. That was one of his original pennants from his testimonial. So I'm very grateful to Andrew for giving that to me a few years ago. Please keep interacting with me. It's absolutely fantastic how many of you are now watching. Thank you for tuning in. A very good morning to all of you. If you would like to be part of the show, I would love to have you on. So just drop me a message. You know where I am on social media. I'm on every single platform there. So just get in touch with me and let me know if you'd like to come on and be part of it. I'd be absolutely thrilled. But as I keep saying, only one rule, no bad language. Right, let's get another fan's perspective. As you know, I speak very regularly with the guys from ABZ podcast. Well, again, before he left for Pittodrie and before he knew the team news today, I caught up with Gavin very earlier today. This is what Gavin had to say about the Dons. Good morning, Gavin. It's lovely to see you. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me this morning before you head off to Pittodrie. So, last game of the season, do you have any expectations?
Yeah, first of all, good morning, Ali. Thank you very much for having us on. And I think we speak on behalf of the other guys. We congratulate you on the launch of ABTV and look forward to seeing how this grows over the next
Thank you for your support.
Couple of years. Yeah, absolutely. Likewise. Regarding today, it's a wonderful day here in Aberdeen, and it feels almost set up to be a nice celebration of Andrew Considine's career in particular. But I think when it comes to today, it's just about getting over the line and we can begin the process of pretending the season never happened, simultaneously while making sure we learn from the catalogue of mistakes that have been made.
I know obviously it's an end of season game and we're all celebrating Andrew Considine today. It's a near enough sellout crowd, which is absolutely fantastic. But we still want to finish with a win, I think, to send the fans home happy enough, knowing that there's going to be this rebuild during the summer. So, do you think the result matters?
Of course, you want to win every game, don't you? And St Mirren at home earlier in the season is probably one of the best performances of the season when we won 4-1. That was a very different looking Aberdeen team. You know, you look through it now, Scott Brown is gone, Jet's gone, Hedges, Ramirez is all but gone. I've no idea how we're going to line up today at all. It could be any number of variations, but does the result matter? I mean, it's a meaningless game at the end of the day, isn't it? I guess league positions are maybe there to be won for, and there's prize money that goes with that, but it's a drop in the ocean when you consider the scale of the investment we're going to need to fix the problems. But yeah, of course, for the mood of the support, it was pretty bad online after Wednesday, the result in Perth. So yeah, it's of course it matters, but as I say, it's just get over the line. Let's get the season finished.
70% possession against St Johnstone, yet we only mustered 2 shots on target. I'm really hoping we do better than that today.
I mean, that's one more shot than I remember. I remember Lewis Ferguson's pretty tame header right at Clark. I don't remember the other one, so that's interesting. It was frustrating because I thought we started the game okay against St Johnstone, and then, you know, as has been the tale all season, they score a goal where they don't have to work in any way hard for it to score. It's just terrible defending on our part. And then, yeah, from that point on, I remember there was a couple of occasions when Bajawan or Montgomery would be running at their defense and they just turn back and take the safe option. No one's prepared to be brave on the ball and take those chances. You've got to believe that today at home, like you say, it's going to be a packed out crowd. There's got to be that motivation to finish the season on something resembling a positive.
Yeah, absolutely. I could not agree more. We have to finish on a positive. Mate, listen, thank you so much for coming on this morning. I know you guys are heading down to the game, so fingers crossed we have a decent performance today and a great send-off for Andrew. So, listen, have a fantastic summer. We'll talk very soon again.
Very welcome, Ali. Thank you.
Thanks. Many thanks, Gavin, for joining me today. The ABZ Football Podcast is available weekly. There's your platforms to get it on. They always have fantastic interviews with players, past and present. They had an excellent interview with John Hewitt recently, so just give them a little shout on there. Okay, if you are just joining me, let me just confirm the team news for today. 4 changes. Andrew Considine comes in for Declan Gallagher and will captain the side on his final appearance for the Dons today. Ross McCrory has come in for Funzo Ojo. Johnny Hayes is in for Adam Montgomery, and Marley Watkins has come in for Michael Ruth. Also, just a little point of interest, it's Andrew's dad's birthday today. So Doug Considine is celebrating his 65th birthday today. So many happy returns to Doug. 18 years ago, he made his debut on this day. How fitting that it finishes on today, his final game for Aberdeen, which will be his 571st appearance. I'm not sure we're going to see that again. Also, I was just quickly checking on social media. Scott Vernon, our former striker, he's just announced his retirement from the game. So the very best of luck to Scott and his family going forward. Okay, guys, listen, we are done. We've got about 40 minutes to kick off. Thank you so much for being with us today. I hope you've really enjoyed the show. And as I said earlier, if you want to come on, please just give me a shout and I'd love to get you on. We will be doing special programs throughout the summer. So I really hope you can join me for that. Keep an eye on my social media channels, and we will do a review show as well tomorrow. So guys, thank you for being with us. Enjoy the rest of your day, and let's hope the Dons get a good result today to send Andy off. Thank you. Take care.